Welcome back to the Kontrolled Khaos podcast. I definitely didn't steal that from the goons, not at all. But it's been an interesting couple weeks since we took our time away from all of this. And I just want to dive into a post I put up on Twitter. And if you guys don't give a shit about this information and personal stuff and all that, I'll leave a timestamp in the comments of the YouTube version. You can scrub ahead to whatever the description says on any of your other podcast apps. But I have two very interesting bits of information. For those of you that follow the whole lore of the channel, know that there's a time and a place where I kind of keep personal life and the content side of things very, very separate. But there's also a time where you need to be a little bit more transparent. I'm partially to blame for a lot of recordings being pushed back here recently. For the last 3 years, I've been dealing with a lot of pain and a lot of tiredness. And I knew from the years and years of abusing my body as a dumb teenager and a drifter of sorts when I was a young adult that I had fucked my body up pretty badly. So my doctor told me when I last went in to go in there that I have early onset arthritis.
Ooh, man.
So I've talked about before, I have no cartilage on my one knee to you guys, But I don't think I'd ever told that story here on the podcast or in any content.
No, not at all.
So yeah, I'm very limited in the amount of time I can actually do a full-time job anymore, especially the kind of job that I'm in right now, which is more warehouse and industrial work. So with that, and then the tiredness, I've come to find out is something called chronic fatigue syndrome, which is a very bitchy way of saying you never are really fully in control of how tired you are. So that I knew that was something that was kind of more hereditary in my family because my aunt had it before she committed unalive, and I knew that there was a bit more on my mother's side of that chronic pain and tiredness side, and I had a feeling that that's what it was, but it's been 3 years because COVID and all that shit of just constant testing. It's not this thing, it's not lupus, it's not this, it's not that, it's not this, it's not that. And I finally found out that it was what I had initially thought it was. And it feels validating to know what it is, but it also sucks because, you're never fully awake and alert. You're always in this sort of kind of fog of just well, fuck, I'm tired, I need to do things, but I also need to sleep fucking 16 hours a day, it feels like, to actually feel relaxed and rested. So that's kind of what happened while you were up here, Thurman. It's I just went down to lay down for a nap, and I'm just I'm out till fucking 6 a.m.
Yeah. I was like, you and Lily were out, and it was 9 o'clock, and I was just you know what? Let me go to sleep too. And I woke up, and you guys were still asleep. And I was
Right.
you know what? It's 5. It's 5 in the morning. Let me just head out. And yeah, sorry about that. My dog is being a bitch.
Yeah, and the massive apologies for that. It's just something that.
Honestly, I know you work a lot, so that doesn't bother me. I was just okay, just probably tired. Because I was planning on leaving at 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have been nice to at least see you off and say bye and all that. But
Yeah, because I didn't even know I was that tired until clock 6.
right.
I didn't even know I was that tired until I was watching YouTube, and I was you know what, let me just
I had a bad.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, just go think my damn self. And I woke, and I set an alarm for 11 because I figured that's when you were going to be up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was yeah. Might as well. And now that I actually got some sleep, I'm like, fuck it. Let me just head out. Beat the traffic. I'm really happy I did because holy shit, it was snowing and everything.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
probably a good thing that you left as early as you did because it got really bad here for a while, and then it just all fucking melted a few hours later, which was good for us heading out,
yeah.
and her
Just
car especially. But
it didn't
there,
take me that long to get back to Indy though.
oh yeah, yeah. At least the highways were at least pretty clear for you. The back
Yeah,
roads
I
down
agree.
this way were still kind of shitty when I left for
The,
work.
the only issue was like it was like a lot of snow
Hmm.
like on the highway. It was like really really dark. So like
Yeah. I learned that we have four very, very different groups of followers on Twitter over the weekend. So, and just moving on from like the depressing side of things, I had mentioned that like there was a personal win for me. There's a big reason why I'm not a fan of religion, and this is another story I don't think I've ever told on the podcast, or I don't even think I told you guys. I might have told you, Thurman. I don't think I ever told Red. I might have when I lived with him. Memory can be kind of fuzzy, but while I was in middle school, my dad really started forcing religion on me, and because he was, trying to find God again after his mom died, and trying to find answers for that. Which some of us turn to the bottle, some of us turn to religion. Both are equally horrible decisions depending on how you view it. But during that time, a bunch of my friends and I, you know, being in a small shitty town, there wasn't a whole lot, so there was a youth group that we had at that church. I still talk to occasionally a few of these people from that youth group back then, but I had a very traumatic experience dealing with the
um
church.
yeah, you told me this. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
but reason why I say fuck David's dad.
yeah. So yeah, we're not going to get too far into that side of it, but I found out over the weekend that the priest that molested me is now behind bars.
Hey,
It
that's
took
good.
a fucking decade, but he was arrested and
Now
he's facing a number of charges. So I don't think he's going to see the light of day again, which is good for anybody that's still involved in churches that he was affiliated with. And it's a little bit of closure for quite a few people, including his own daughter.
look at God.
So
Honestly punishing one of his own people.
yeah, time for him to go meet God, as far as I'm concerned. But we don't
Yeah.
condone doxing or death threats or anything here, obviously. But that was really validating. So I put up like lyrics to a song, because it just felt right. Um,
He
it,
lives to hoping that he, meets some very, very nice people in jail and they beat the ever living shit out of him.
well, if there's one thing that people in prison don't like, and this comes from years of my dad being a corrections officer, is they don't like child molesters.
Not at all.
So he's going to find out very quickly Big Bubba's black dick, for a lack of better words there.
And usually, right, like David said, you don't doxing, death threats, or whatever, but it hits personal because David's my best friend, and also I don't really fuck with child molesters. So uh, I'm sorry if I'm not, feeling sort of sympathy or anything like that because I don't get
Exactly.
that. So,
Exactly. So there's a band that I followed for, well, probably since I was a teenager, back when they were ska punk, and it's Ice Nine Kills. I'm loving
Scott,
the
Scott Punk.
ska punk, ska mixed with punk. Now they're like really heavy metal. A lot of their influences, mostly horror movies. But back during their early days, they did a lot of classic literature, and this was a song based on Tess d'Urberville's. So I put up, and this is where I found out like our audiences are very, very different. Because I have an audience for like punk and metal on my Twitter. I have an audience for like the weeby shit, the gaming shit, and then I have like personal friends and family that follow me there that will DM me and shit on there. But I think I freaked out one of our mods here, Faboyo, in the comments. So I put up like, so officer, please, that's the man who destroyed my existence. He begged and he screamed just like I did, and for this I was willing to die. It was all I could do to survive. And if you've ever read that book, because I was the nerdy one that read all the classic literature shit when I was in high school, it's a very dark, disturbing book. And really shouldn't have been read by a ninth grader at the time.
I mean, the shit they be having us read is low key kind of dark anyway. So
Yeah, like they went from Frankenstein To Kill a Mockingbird to this, which was about a lot of like women's purity and how that affects, you know, young women, and how back in those days, like if somebody wasn't a virgin, they were worthless and shit like that.
now the roles have reversed. If you're a virgin now, you're worthless.
Right. Fucking yeah. But like that was like the underlying message that a ninth grader was getting from is, and because I grew up in a very, very conservative town, they kind of push that, like stay a virgin until marriage.
Yeah, I fucking like. Okay, listen, right? I get that. Literally, like that philosophy inherently isn't bad. It's just the fact that the way people go about it is what makes it bad. Because like, I mean, if you want to wait till marriage, that's totally fine. But it's just like, don't get mad if someone who has a little higher, you know, sexual drive or develops earlier than you wants to, are curious about their sexuality and want to, you know, and faithfully go out there and be sexually active. That's fine. You know what I mean?
There's definitely like that fine line of like, you want them to be safe, and this is why I think that, as fucked as it is, you know, I think it shows like Big Mouth and teaching like proper sex ed through media like that, because how the youth have evolved and everything is like a very important thing.
Bro, people hate Big Mouth, bro.
I know people hate Big Mouth, but it's a very necessary show to like allow people to explore their sexual identity, and teach sex ed and shit like that, because our fucking schools horribly fail at that, especially in the more conservative cities. You know, for my sex ed was like, here's a condom, let me show you how to put it on a banana, but also you're going to fucking hell if you have sex before marriage. Here's a purity ring. That was my fucking sex ed.
They're like, hey, do you want to know how to have sex? You don't.
Mm-hmm. You're going to hell if a girl gives you a blowjob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like straight up, that was the message that my school gave. Like they had a fucking priest come into the fucking gym, and like, you're all sinners, each and every one of you, if you have the sexual intercourse. I'm like, bruh, nobody talks like that.
Yeah, they talk like that. I'm doing a fucking seminar.
I'm like, no, this isn't how to do it. And like, you had like the cheerleaders here who were, you know, very active. Just like, what if I gave my boyfriend a hand job in the back of his leg to pick up? Is that a sin? Anyway, yeah, that was kind of the message that you would dissect as a younger kid from that book. And it's something that, as necessary as that message was, and how, you know, important it is to have those types of books to be like, this is how things were there. It was very much that product of its time. Just like, you know, Harry Potter now is like canceled because J.K. Rowling's a transphobic piece of shit. You know. And you know, Lovecraft was a racist piece of shit, but those stories are still very necessary, and I don't believe in canceling art, even though we are now back in an era where we're banning books because they are against any kind of religion. Anyway, moving past that, moving past all of that personal stuff, because of all of this that's been going on, I'm going to be streaming a lot more on Twitch. I'm going to be, after this episode goes up, right? Which I'm thinking it'll actually be going up tomorrow, probably. I don't know. We're recording at 3:15. so probably 316 because we would like to get Dr. Stone recorded because um, Red's going to be joining soon as well. I just sent him a message to see where he was at. It was one of those that you very much need to touch on, right? You know, Dr. Stone being such a important part of our channel's history, you know.
Yeah, honestly, I'd rather if we're gonna separate that, I'd rather just do like a big send off goodbye Dr. Stone video tomorrow.
Yeah, so that
And I'm gonna go see Batman tomorrow with my little sister's friend.
yeah, it'll just it'll come down to like how we can filter all this out, but whichever one of these videos will be up, and whenever this goes up, that schedule will be going up. So I'm going to be streaming basically over on the Twitch. I have the first week. This is starting the week of 320, like streaming 3 days a week for now to see how that works. Works out for, you know, time and everything, being how crazy my schedule's been for work. And just seeing how long I can actually sit in front of a computer without getting super drained and everything. Obviously, I'm going to continue doing the manga stuff that the community, you guys recommend. Those who are still watching this part, you know, because that's a very important part of this channel as well. But I also want to do more than just read manga on Twitch because eventually, the bigger the channel gets, the more that bot's going to start seeing that I'm violating copyright law, you know. So I'm going to be going back to gameplay on some of those days. So for now, I have Sunday being off because of the chapters dropping that day. Mondays being Manga Monday, just themed all around a bunch of manga that you guys want us to read. Tuesday being an off day. Wednesday, I have continuing the game of Assassin's Creed 4 that we'd started a while back. Thursday being off. Friday, multiple games. I know a few of us had decided to like have a game night. We'd chosen Battlefield. So we can do that for one of them and then shift off into another game over there. I'll probably be testing some of the Kingdom Hearts stuff because we still want Red to go through all the Kingdom Hearts and make sure it captures properly. And because I haven't really done a whole lot of streaming with the Epic Game Store, and they're recording bullshit. So I want to make sure that actually looks good over on Twitch, you know. And then Saturday, obviously, having off because that's my one full day off a week, and I would like to cherish that. That's my one full day off. But yeah. I mentioned I wanted to do more with Twitch the last stream, and when we were doing the mini tournament, and this is a perfect opportunity to do that, as fucked as it is to say that. So now into the actual podcast at 18 minutes and 5 seconds in. That's me giving myself a timestamp. Been a crazy week for games. Speaking of games.
Shit for everything. Holy shit. While you were talking, I was trying to remember what stuff I wanted to talk about because it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been almost 3 weeks since we uploaded a podcast. I know we said we were going to do these bi-weekly. No, like, we had a state of play, you know.
Oh, right. Okay. So, the state of play. So I gave it a 7.5. It's okay. So let me just deep dive into this, right? So the state of play. I definitely loved it. But shut up. Sorry, my dog, my puppy. He wants attention. The only things that like really caught my eye was the new Capcom IP. So let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, Exo Primal.
The Dino Crisis spiritual successor.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because I know a lot of people are saying if this game succeeds, this could be a leeway for
a chance for like a reboot or something for actual Dino Crisis.
But for me, I personally hoping this game succeeds because it's been a long time since we've got a new IP from Capcom, and I would really, really love for them to do more.
Adventurous things, because it's been for the
Yeah,
longest time. We talked about this, I think, just in the Earth 2 chat. Um, it's been so long since we had something that wasn't Street Fighter, wasn't Resident Evil, wasn't fucking Devil May Cry, and wasn't, the like fucking Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Street Fighter, or Monster Hunter. That was the other one. Um, like those have been all that they've been balancing on for the longest time. Like fucking Mega Man's been reduced to like gotcha mobile games. You've had 17,000 fucking Monster Hunter expansions. Obviously, Village was a massive success. And Devil May Cry, I mean, the last thing we really got from that was a virtual DLC, and then that's been it, right? Like, it's so weird that they've over relied on so many different things for so long, or so few things for so long, that they seem to have like went into that Sony state of like, we have all these things, but we don't want to use them because they don't sell too well. And the second I saw the trailer, I'm like, is that Dino Crisis? Because I've been clamoring, for a Dino Crisis in the RE engine. I and then I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is Dino Crisis. But you're right. Like, I do want it to succeed just simply on that like new IP status, because that will give them a chance to be like, okay, so people want something new from us. People want something that's not the same four things regurgitated forever. Um, but yeah, like, it's one of the more interesting ones. The one that really got me, and I know it's very, very cringy that I found this to be the best thing, but I fucking love how Square trolled the end of it. But I particularly loved how Wario64. If you don't know who Wario64 is, Wario64 is this fucking Twitter account that tweets out like deals and shit. So he tweeted out like not Final Fantasy Tactics for the Diofield Chronicles, which looks really, really good because Square hasn't done anything tactical in a long time. And the new Valkyria game, because that was one that was, if I'm remembering correctly, that was data mined from the GeoForce, the
oh, really?
GeForce
I
data
forgot
mine.
that. Holy shit, that was such a long time ago. I forgot about that shit.
Right, and everybody was like thinking it was like a mobile game, but to see that it's an
Yeah,
actual console game gives me so much
yeah.
hope for the rest of that fucking list to being not just gotcha bullshit or fake, because now we've had quite a few of these become real, and I was talking about that in that group chat because the Chrono Cross remaster was in that. Diofield, I believe, was in there, and the Valkyrie game was all in there. Inside that, there was another Kingdom Hearts game. Actually, let me pull up the whole list really quick. I'll let you talk for a minute, and I gotta go use the restroom. And
All right. So going back to the Exo Primal shit. So I'm really excited about this game because as a person who's just now getting into like, well, not really just now, but I've for the past few years I've been trying to get into franchises and among other things that I wasn't able to get into as a child for various reasons, right? Like there are a few things that I got into, I had, I was in Street Fighter, Tekken, Guilty Gear, one of my favorite fighting game franchises. Mario, Kirby. I play a little bit of Legend of Zelda here and there, but not too much. Warcraft, Starcraft with like my PC, League of Legends, like Dota were like those were like my main like each console I had like games I was just like invested, right? Like Halo Reach, yeah, like I wasn't like big into Halo, but I love Halo Reach. I love Halo 4. Halo 5 was dog shit. I was in the COD. Killer Instinct, stuff like that, right? So I had my franchises, but there's certain franchises that I really. Hello, doing good. How you doing? Yes. Sorry, my neighbors. So there are certain things that I wanted to get into that I couldn't because at the youngin, certain games that my mom, wouldn't let me play and all that because like my mom would have a heart attack if she found that I was into the Shin Megami Tensei franchise and Devil May Cry and all that, especially since they're more on the religious side. But anyway, so Exo Primal. So the reason why I'm so happy about this is because the past few years I've been getting into franchises that I never really, was able to. Shin Megami Tensei, for this example, Devil May Cry, the Ulterior series, like shit like that. Big examples, but more examples, but that's basically. So Exo Primal is a good opportunity for me to sort of. Cause honestly, I know it's a new IP, but I feel like the idea behind it is definitely trying to. It's like a spiritual successor to Dino Crisis, and it looked really fun. It looked like a tower defense sort of like zombies, COD zombie style with like dinosaurs. And it looks really fun. So I'm really hyped to see more about the games because looking at the trailer, it looks like it's definitely shaping up to be a heavy hitter. It's just sometimes Capcom really worries me with their releases because let's be honest, Capcom sometimes makes the worst business decisions when it comes to games. I think everyone that can't forget the abysmal launch Street Fighter V, and they're already having controversy with Street Fighter 6. But I don't know, maybe it's just when it comes to their fighting games, they just like I don't know. But like luckily, they're doing Monster Hunter, Ace Attorney, and
Oh yeah, Ace Attorney was the other one that was one of those that they've overly relied on. No, like some of these are obviously been confirmed false because we're past those dates. But here's the release dates. I'll link this in the description of the video as well.
yeah. So hold on, let me finish here, David. So
Yep.
basically, yeah. So when it comes to Exo Primal, right? Like, come on, Glock, go inside. You already pooped. So when it comes to Exo Primal, right? It's just the fact that Capcom is not like over relying on like the usual IPs because, like I mentioned, like if it's not like Street Fighter, Monster Hunter, Ace Attorney, or Resident Evil, they're not really fucking with it. Like not even like Mega Man, Beautiful Joe, like Devil May Cry got released or whatever, but like we rarely see Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry content unless it's like crossover, whatever, right? So personally, come on, go inside. So personally, no, stop looking at everybody. Okay. So personally, I am really hoping that this game succeeds. It looks fun. I'll definitely get it. I'll be following it closely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next game that I was hyped about is the new JoJo game. As a fighting game fan, you already know this was coming up, right?
Oh
So, the JoJo game is interesting, right? Because I found out it's actually a remake of the 2013 and 14, I forgot which year, JoJo game called Battle Royale, which means that this game was actually before Eyes of Heaven, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the JoJo game here because there was also one called Last Survivor that was a arcade game that came out after both of those as well. It was like a multiplayer battle royale game that was in like arcades in Japan, I'm guessing, because it's all in Japanese. But there's also their All-Star Battle. This is 2013. That was when it came out originally. And it's a remaster featuring additional content. All-Star Battle R, which is also coming to the Switch, which is the one that got me confused here. It's coming to Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, X and S, obviously, and Steam. Fall this year, and with it being this obviously CyberConnect 2 are when it comes to fighting games. I'm trying to figure out what comes after this, so I'm not finding that. It's Eyes of Heaven that came after this. It has to be Eyes of Heaven that came after this. I'm trying to go on while I pull this really quick. I'm trying to find the games here really quick. Stardust Shooters was a phone game, and then Eyes of Heaven. You were right. What's the next one?
Yeah. Okay. So because I know Eyes of Heaven was the one that was I don't know if it was well received, but people liked it. And they gave them a very powerful DO and all the extra shit like that and extra story. Glock, put it down. Thank you. God damn. So it's interesting because the game looks like a remake. So I was like David, you saw in the chat there, from looking at comparing the gameplay. So the original JoJo's Royale game, it was a arena fighter. Moving around. Think like a better Jump Force, or think of like J Stars or some shit like that, right?
I mean, anything was better than Jump Force.
Yeah. So like, with that being said, the new trailer actually looks like it's going to be a 2D fighter. Because like the gameplay looks more linear. The jump motion felt like it was 2D. I did see there was like a parry mechanic there. There was assist.
They really overhauled the gameplay. Like, it's like fully overhauled, and it looks like it's not that they updated the graphics, but it does look like it's crisper.
100%.
Because I gotta shut this door. Lily's playing League.
Oh my gosh. Oh, my ADHD is fucking sucks, dude. I get so distracted so easily.
All right. Just so we don't hear the salt coming from the other room. But yeah, like what's really interesting to me, Thurman, and us being the fighting game fans, it's unfortunate that Andrew couldn't be here for this episode because he's also a big, not just fucking fighting game fan, it's also a JoJo fan. What's really interesting to me is if this succeeds, right? If this succeeds and is really well received, and it looks fucking phenomenal from what we saw, but obviously trailers are not representative of the final product, right?
Right.
If this succeeds, I would love to see CyberConnect just, get down on their knees and be like, please let us make the next fucking anniversary game for Jump.
Did CyberConnect make the JoJo game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why it's good.
Right. I wanted to make sure I was right. They are the developers on it.
Because I'm curious because like when it comes to that, right? I love her art. Okay. I'm just gonna share this real quick. I'm sorry. So when it comes to the when it comes to that, right? I think I don't know. I could be wrong, but I believe this is going to be Cyberpunk's first shot at a 2D fighter. If they do it, I could be wrong on that because I know there another series that they're famous for that people don't really realize is a Dog Hat franchise. They actually created that, and of course, Asura's Wrath and blah blah. It's like CyberConnect 2 is a great company. People need to put some respect on their name, 100%, right? So like when it comes to that. I'm really hoping that it is a 2D fighter because a lot of people have been asking for a 2D fighter for JoJo for a very long time. I'm shocked I haven't got one already. Like compared to because I mean, technically speaking, One Piece and Dragon Ball did get one on the 3DS. Not really a 2D fighter, but like a traditional fighter. So I don't think Naruto has one yet. But I mean, like, it all comes down to what you consider like a traditional fighter is. I actually have a photo that has all the different types of fighters on here. I'm through my phone right now on the Twitter gallery, and I have 507 Twitter photos that I saved. Holy shit, I am a monster.
We don't talk about how many photos I have saved. Like my phone storage is like 95% photos because I am that whore that will sit there and harvest all the memes, all the fucking fan art.
So check this out. Check this out. I'm sending it to Brozone. Brozone.
Earth 1 or Earth 2?
Earth 2 Brozone. Yes, I can. Earth 2 Brozone. Let's go. Okay, so sorry, ADHD brain is coming up right here. So check this out. Check out this Capcom versus like Shonen Jump roster though, and then this Square Enix roster though. But anyway,
I remember this.
Like, yeah, I remember. I sent that. So if you remember, there was a. There was. I wonder if I did save it. I hope I did save it, but I probably did because knowing me, I probably did. But there was a graph showing like the different types of like fighting games and all that, like types of fighters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I want to bring that up here because it makes a lot of sense, right? When it comes to something like that, in regards to to like the JoJo game and like different type of fighters and what counts as a fighter and all that. So to me, there's different four types of fighters. There's the traditional way, there's 3D, there's arena fighter, and then there's platform fighter, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is more like your party brawler like Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Smash Brothers.
PlayStation Battle Royale.
Yeah, Arena of not Arena of what the fuck is that shit called? Brawlhalla.
Yeah.
Brawlers of Ether, shit like that, right? Then you have like your 3D, which is like Tekken, Virtual Fighter, I believe Dead or Alive, and Soul Calibur, I believe counts. Then you have like your 2D Street Fighter, Samurai Showdown, Marvel vs. Capcom, shit like that. And then your Arena Fighters, which is Jump Force, Naruto, Ninja Storm series, shit like that, right? So when it comes to this, the JoJo game, the originally would be labeled under Arena Fighter, but now do you think they upgraded and turned it into a 2D fighter? Because just judging off the gameplay and what we've been getting, it definitely looks like a 2D fighter. But we honestly, you know, that it was just like a snippet. You know, it could be, we could have, they could be like, oh, just kidding. It says Arena Fighter with like 2D fighter elements, but like the way the movement looked and the way everything went, it definitely looks like a 2D fighter. And I'm just like, I'm happy, but like, where did the conscious decision come from to change it like that, you know?
I think it's more to fit what fans have been clamoring for, right? CyberConnect has realized that they're the fans' bastion of hope in a way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That they seem to understand how each type of fighter works and what fans want and what will make them money. Because at the end of the day, all of these companies exist solely on a capitalist fucking platform. They want to continue to make revenue, to continue to fund projects, to continue to make more revenue. You know, and it makes sense because they're fucking business first and foremost. But at the same time, CyberConnect is the one fucking studio that has not let fighting game fans down. And that's what's really relieving to me, you know, as a fighting game fan. I mean, I obviously don't play fighting games as much as I used to. I was a teenager or young adult, but at the same time, you, me, Andrew, we all throw down in, you know, our own fun little way. I still play Mortal Kombat, I love Soul Calibur. That is my go-to for a 3D fighter. I have ended many of friendships playing that game back in the day. But they've got this formula, it seems like, to how to make everything feel super fluid. And that's what I love about them. But seeing them step outside their traditional wheelhouse is also a little concerning, but I have faith in them to at least, pull through and make a really good fighter. Obviously, as we see more, we can, elaborate more on what we think about it as it goes on, because at the end of the day, we're fucking nerds and we're going to do what the hell we want to do with this channel anyway. But what I would love to see out of this is the obscene amount of fan service that we got out of like a Tenkaichi 3, because JoJo has a roster that rivals Dragon Ball's history.
Yeah, apparently it's getting 50 characters.
Yeah, which is really cool. Like, I wonder what the actual roster count was for Tenkaichi 3. It's been so fucking long.
I have no idea. It's been a very long time. Whew. That roster, man, that Square Enix roster looking mighty juicy.
Right? 161 characters was the Tenkaichi 3 roster.
God damn. Also, there's some static buildup going on in your background, David. Just giving you a heads up here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of resonant static inside OBS right now. I gotta crawl back over to this other keyboard that I have my headphones plugged into, because I don't have a cord long enough right now to fit my headphones on my PC for how I got this desk set up since we moved. There we go. That should be better. Boop boop. Go ahead and talk, Therm. Alright, I still got you coming through the headphones, so we're good there. But yeah, I switched keyboards, right? Just the super nerdy side of this for a second. Switch keyboards, like my main keyboard, to save space, to like a 65% mechanical keyboard. Which is like super clicky clacky and super small form factor. But my headphones are plugged into my old Black Widow. My old Razer Black Widow that has all like the anime uwu girls on it. So like the side of that my headphones are popped into to keep Shion from chewing my fucking wires all the way at the back. And I just shoved that keyboard all the way to the back of my wall.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but now my main keyboard has all like Nier Automata and an Emil. I took the Emil keycap off of my old keyboard, put it back on the escape key here, and took the Ducky keycap off of my new keyboard and just slapped on the escape key for that. Anyway, nerdy side aside, the next thing I really want to bring up from all of the gaming shit that we got here. Nintendo is fucking stupid. Did you see what they're going to fucking do to the Kirby concert?
Oh shit. Oh shit, that's really funny.
This video will be live. So not only have they created artificial scarcity for games, right, by like delisting Mario Anniversary Pack with 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy and fucking Fire Emblem Warrior of Light. Now we're fucking creating artificial scarcity for a fucking YouTube video. I hope it is always ethical to pirate a Nintendo game. I will 100% say this until the end of time, because they refuse to re-release and keep re-released prior products to a way that we can actually obtain them for a reasonable price. So get your Yuzu, get your Dolphin. I don't give a shit. Come at me, Nintendo. I'm not hosting the shit, so you can't fucking sue me for saying that.
Honestly,
I hope motherfuckers keep re-uploading this video after it goes down. I really do. I really fucking do. Just as a giant middle finger to Nintendo, because that is the dumbest motherfucking thing on the planet. There's not really much more to say than that. What the fuck? Who is the corporate bigwig? And Nintendo's like, yes, let's private this video so no one can view it on this day.
honestly, when it comes to that and everything, I'm just I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyways, long story short, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. But JoJo, hope it's good. Hope it's great. I'm hoping. I trust CyberConnect, so we'll see how it is. Actually, side tangent, David. Speaking of fighting games, do I follow this guy? I'm following him now. Thank you. I just scrolling on Twitter, and a new fighting game publishers roundtable has been announced for March 21st.
Yeah, I saw that, and that's. I really need to put the blunt down, but I'm enjoying smoking it before.
So we got Capcom, Arc System, SNK, Sega, Arca, and Bandai Namco. So do you think we're gonna get? This is gonna be a fighting game podcast. If you don't like fighting games, get the fuck out.
There's other stuff we're going to talk about, but right now, yes, very much so. Like, skip ahead.
It's fighting game time, bitches. But let me see if Andrew can hop in here real quick.
I don't think we have him on Skype, but I can always just transition the call over to Discord if he wants to hop in. But yeah, that's an interesting thing because it's been a while since we've seen a roundtable, and usually when we get a roundtable, we get some announcements.
Yeah, they say they want to talk about a bunch of stuff, but
where's NetherRealm? Where's my fucking Injustice 3?
Japan fighting game publishers. Keyword Japan.
Ed Boon has enough clout to whip his dick on the table and be like, bitch, let me in.
Unless Ed Boon's moving NetherRealm Studios to fucking Japan, I don't think he's allowed in.
But, that's the interesting thing, right? Because in that leak that I'm putting up here in the description, they mentioned both Injustice 3 and Mortal Kombat 12, right? And
yeah, that's all. That whole situation is very weird to me. It feels like NetherRealm Studios is getting hoed somehow. And I have no evidence to say that, but it just feels like.
Well, there is a little bit of evidence to say that, right? Because they're partnered with Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers is in the process of merging Discovery and a bunch of other shit in there. And also with Warner Brothers being part of Otter Media, there's also the fact that they have the Rooster Teeth umbrella. They have a bunch of other shit going on behind the scenes, and this transitional period of are we going to be able to merge this and this and this and this, and then the fact that AT&T had a stake in them, and AT&T's nah, we kind of want to spin this out. It's a whole weird, if you followed any of that, there's a little bit of reason to believe they're getting hoed a bit because of how they're partnered in with that. But at the same time, Ed Boon and NetherRealm usually have this 2-game cycle, right? We just got Mortal Kombat 11 a couple years ago, and it got its Fuck Your Wallet edition because, there's the people that will buy it originally, and then there's the smart people like me that will wait till all the fucking DLC comes out because they're tired of paying for the same game twice. Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat XL. I say having bought Destiny 2 4 fucking times before I retire from that bullshit. But that's the thing, right? Usually it's Mortal Kombat Injustice, Mortal Kombat Injustice, Mortal Kombat Injustice. It's time for Injustice 3 to come out. Around this year, it should be getting announced and coming out sometime after E3 if you're following the trajectory of the franchises. But we haven't even got that announcement, really. But he's over here making fun of the Book of Boba Fett for being ridiculous with this. The same dude that threw fucking Leatherface and the Xenomorph into the Mortal Kombat universe.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat plotline is very, very weird, so...
I want to know, at what point is the Mortal Kombat timeline canon and not canon, right? Because you have the OG timeline, which gets put into this reboot timeline, right? Around the era of Mortal Kombat 4. But is Kratos being in Mortal Kombat canon? Or Leatherface? Or the fucking Xenomorph? Yeah, you know what I mean? How much of that fan servicey bullshit is canon and how much of it's just, there for the fuck of it? Because none of them are really tied into the story, are they? I haven't played Mortal Kombat 11's story.
But it's just when it comes to that type of stuff, I think it's just fan service. I remember a famous tweet back in the day that was all about it. It was like, ow, fuck. It was like when Mortal Kombat, when Rambo was announced, someone on Twitter was like, a famous tweet, it was like, Mortal Kombat is now Super Smash Brothers, except your dad chose the characters. And that's really funny. Like, that's basically what it is.
Yeah, like, here's the thing though. Like, while we respond to Andrew there, I fucking, there's one thing that I absolutely love about shit like that viral tweet shit. It's like, no matter how silly it is, if it has a point, it will catch on Twitter, right? And the one that got me, and this is like, I think year 2 of me having a Twitter account, there was a fucking, you probably don't remember this, but somebody got the picture of fucking Bernie Sanders with the bird. Remember that? And it was just like Bernie Sanders. So that got photoshopped into fucking everything. And then there was one where Bernie Sanders was facing down Donald Trump on a Mortal Kombat screen with the fucking bird as like the fucking oopsie. It's just like the dumbest shit on Twitter is so fucking funny to me. Like, and now
there it is, the boy.
Hey, the boy.
We're switching over to Discord right now.
One second. One sec. Wheel. That a bro zone chat and Discord. All right, let's transition over to Discord really quick. So bear with us for a moment. All right. While we do that, like, how you doing, chat? How you doing? Chat over here is like really enjoying this ridiculous talk. So Andrew, we've been bullshitting about like the JoJo game, viral fighting game tweets, all the things that have been really going on in the game world, the state of play, and if Thurman would talk there really quick, that'd be great. Because he's the one that was like, all right, let's get Andrew in here because this is a fighting game podcast right now. But no, like, what's really interesting here is because, like, I was bringing up, it's usually around the time we would get Injustice right now, right?
Right, yeah.
And it kind of seems like in the middle of this Warner Brothers shuffle, with him just bundling HBO Max and Discovery Plus into one streaming service and everything, it seems like all the gaming studios working for Warner Brothers have been set back like by 5 fucking years.
Oh boy.
Because like Hogwarts Legacy, like fuck J.K. Rowling, but like that game was announced like it seemed like it was announced when I was still in fucking college.
Oh god, that's right.
It's just now getting its own state of play this week. I think Thursday.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It seems like Warner Brothers in general has just been like dead hell. So I wonder if like Injustice has been affected by that.
True, and it's not only Injustice because remember, I want to say NetherRealms were also in talk of like a Marvel fighting game as well or something.
I believe they were for a while. I don't know if they were able to do that.
Mortal Kombat fighting game, but we weren't sure. It was just rumored, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we don't know if that was just like speculation or what. But at the same time, like that, I would love to see them do a fighting game. Like, please.
Me too. Like, I don't think we've actually had a good Marvel fighting game since. Ah, Christ. I can only think of like the PS1 era, arcade era Capcom fighting games, you know?
Right.
What is it, Marvel Superheroes and shit?
Yeah, like, I still have a copy of that floating around somewhere.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I gotta find like my PS1 stack because I was a dumb kid and threw all the cases away. So I have like one of those spools of PS1 games.
Gotcha.
And now I'm hunting down like jewel cases and art to replace them. Because I'm like,
I see. Honestly, they have some good repro jewel cases.
Oh yeah, I bought a repro just because I went full OCD and I wanted all of my GameCube library to line up properly.
Oh yeah.
I brought a repro for the Game Boy player.
Nice.
I'm like, you will be uniform, damn it. But yeah, that was the only one I bought from there. But like the dude that shipped that out, like shipped that art like a day, and I got it like 2 days later. It was like the fastest pandemic shipping I ever got.
True.
But like the quintessential fighting game that I would love to see, he dropped from the call. Return would be a good fucking Marvel vs. Capcom right now. I am fiending for that.
Yeah, not Infinite, not none of that bullshit.
Yo.
Hey,
Bro, the entire time when I was talking, and I was like, what the fuck? So I had to leave the call and come back. But as I was saying, yes, okay, so the Marvel fighting game, right? Now, listen, I think they're also in talks for like a Marvel vs. DC game, but...
That was it. I remember that one now.
When it comes to the Marvel fighting game, listen, I love NetherRealm Studios. Mortal Kombat Injustice are pretty fun, but I don't know if I could really play a Marvel in this gameplay as Mortal Kombat because when it comes to like my fighting games, right? You guys saw what I posted in the chat.
Yeah.
The different types of fighting games: arena, 3D, 2D, platform, simulation. When it comes to fighters, 2D is mostly what I'm into. Arena fighters, I'm more like casual. 3D fighters are games I'm not good at. I fucking suck at Soul Calibur and Tekken. Technically, Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat is a 2D fighter, but the gameplay styles is a gameplay. And I grew up in Mortal Kombat against my mother's will, of course. Hashtag I love my dad. Rest in peace to GOAT. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
So, I've never been good at Mortal Kombat games. Same with Street Fighter, right? I love Street Fighter, barely been good at them, right? So it's just like
I feel that.
So it's just like if I want to be, I don't know, man. Like I have to see gameplay first. I have to see what they do because I trust NetherRealm Studios. NetherRealm Studios is good stuff, despite the people thinking that Mortal Kombat every year sucks. Glock, get out of there.
I will have to agree. Like, I will have to see gameplay first, but another thing too, the mechanics are what really make that game.
Oh yeah.
Like the mechanics of a game can make or break a game.
And see, NetherRealm's really hit or miss with like mechanics too.
Yes, that's right.
Because like when they introduced like the gearboxes into Injustice 2 to kind of capitalize on microtransactions, I wasn't a big fan of that because like some of them gave a decent amount of advantage to each and every character.
Oh, definitely.
Going into a lobby against some fucking whale, you were done. You were done. It didn't matter how good you were at the game. That motherfucker over there's got like plus 50 health and like this much attack boost. Nah. So I'm hoping if they do something like that again, they don't introduce like that super buff to where you can just, there's no better term for it, like whale it. Because you really, it's how much money you're willing to spend in something like that.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with like a game like Genshin Impact, for example. Like you have people have every freaking character and have them all maxed out because they got a hold of daddy's credit card.
Yeah, they can just drop thousands upon thousands of dollars and not worry about it and be like, I'm the greatest. No, you're not. You just fucking.
You just became the greatest because you have a deep wallet.
Yeah.
I pray for your bankruptcy appointment, but
right.
It's interesting, like, and having two rosters full of characters, if they go down that Marvel versus DC route,
right?
if they go down that, like, imagine if a character like Superman versus Deadpool, for example, how
Right.
broken that could be if they went down the box route.
Right.
So that's one to me is like I hope they don't introduce like microtransactions if they do it. You know they will, because modern NetherRealm, easy fatalities, some sort of loot box. It's inevitable. Oh, it'll be one of
Unless
those.
they kind of did what they did with MK11, where you're still able to unlock different outfits and gear and equipment and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like either playing through story or just dicking around in like the crypt that they have.
Yeah, and that will be a really good one. I didn't play a whole lot of 11. I need to finish the story for that. Just to understand just to find out what the fuck's going on in the timeline there, because it's confusing. I thought Kingdom Hearts was weird, but once they introduced time travel,
always weird, man. Like.
To any franchise, things get too really weird because most writers don't know how to integrate time well into their franchises.
no.
I mean, Sonic failed at it.
Soul Calibur.
Data Live. Like time travel is a very risky move, and when it comes to any medium, movies, games, anime, manga, comics.
And Doctor Who does it well just because of how the plot works. When you get into like a game,
I mean bullshit.
when you get in a game, it just depends on who the writer is for that. And then once you jump to another writer, kind of like comic style, they can fuck the whole 90 fucking games up just with one false move there.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, and another thing that can also, determine how a game looks, not to deviate from, themes of things and everything, the art.
Mm-hmm.
The art style of how characters look. If we were to get a Marvel versus DC game, it better not look like they did with DC versus Mortal Kombat or the first Injustice.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, because that looked like shit.
Uh-huh. Yeah. They tried way too hard to make it Mortal Kombat-y. And even as dark, and let's be realistic here, DC is the dark side of comics. Even as dark as it is, it's not Mortal Kombat dark.
No. And the funny thing is too, like,
we're not talking we're not talking the deceased universe or the Batman Who Laughed universe. Or dark metal.
As I get more and more into the comics industry, bro, DC is fucking dark. I think Marvel's dark too. Like Dark Horse is dark. A lot of comic companies, publishers have dark shit, but DC takes it to a whole nother fucking level. Like,
for real. I mean, Marvel can get dark as well. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
how
but
often is that happening?
About every 16 weeks.
It feels like to me, as someone who's not really that big into DC comics like that, but see the scans, DC is dark almost every other week.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Someone's always dying. Someone's always getting, the R word. It's fucking, bro. It's fucking like DC. DC, literally, it's like fucking dark for no type of fucking reason, and it's just like whoa.
Yeah.
And then, you get all the movies that are coming out too, like the new Suicide Squad, and they are just.
That was the perfect movie for James Gunn.
So it's really funny to me that because I saw what happened on Mortal Kombat DC Universe. It's funny to me how there's literally stories where Superman literally ripped people in half and
they're like please don't make it too dark, but also make the graphics really grainy.
But you don't want him to rip the head off of a literal soul sucking demon.
Yeah.
With Mortal Kombat. So it's very very weird because they still tried to. I think the issue was that because it was a DC game, they wanted to keep the T rating. But at that point, let's be honest. DC Universe isn't a bunch of bitches. Like Wonder Woman kills people, like literally. Like you have to understand that DC superheroes without morals are fucking brutal as fuck. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And a
yeah,
lot of DC adults now are very like dark. So like if they were to make a Mortal Kombat DC Universe now, I feel like they would have no choice but to make it rated M and be like, oh shit, you know, we can do this. Because if you guys saw the Justice League Dark movie series, holy fuck.
Well, yeah, but that's technically a whole another universe, and that's where it deviates so much. Like they have that multiverse thing going on, kind of like we're seeing in the MCU now, where there's this Earth and this Earth and this Earth. Obviously, that's kind of where like the group chat name came from, was like Earth 2. But that at the same time, like all of these universes are printed at the same price range and the same rate as every other, right? So the same fan that goes and buys Superboy, where you know he's having his little buy moment here that they'll eventually retcon because DC doesn't know what the fuck they want to do with comics, even though it's super valid, but they'll eventually cave into the backlash because they want to make money, and they'll take that, and then they'll go and grab fucking Constantine issue 355 over here, where he's lighting a motherfucker on fire with a cigarette. You know, it's like pick a lane here for these games, but at the same time, I understand like back then that they wanted to test the waters more. Yeah. To see if there was an audience for this, and they gave us, you know, one of the better franchises that we've gotten in recent fighting game history. Like, I love Injustice. I love how dark and gruesome those comics got too. Like fucking Nightwing getting completely shit fucked. Like, oh, I fell down and broke my neck. I'm dead.
Right.
But now if we're to like plot out like what an Injustice 3 will look like, I think we'll get like some of those Dark Metal universe characters. We'll get like definitely Batman Who Laughs, who's become one of the most popular characters from this more recent batch.
Oh, for sure.
Which in and of itself is an M fucking rating because of how screwed up that universe is.
Yeah, the fucking Batman Metal and Dark Knight Metal, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, where like there's gaggles of Robins that are slaves, basically.
Yeah, I guess it's fucked.
It really is. I need to keep reading that because I still have like a DC Infinite membership coming out of my credit card. From back when it used to host all the shows that got shifted to HBO Max, I'm like, it's $5. I don't really notice it.
Fair enough.
So I should just, you know, continue reading that.
You can tell you're financially stable when $5 coming out of your account every month is not a problem.
I have so many subscription services, I lose track of which ones I have at this point. I'm paying for cable 2.0, man.
Oof.
Cable 2.0 than actual cable.
I'd rather not have ads, so...
Yeah, fair.
At least I get to pick what I'm watching.
Yeah, it's become like... And that's the thing I hate about like all these streaming services, and where I've kind of become like, I'm more in favor of a monopoly right now. You know, like... Yeah. Like, Netflix, can you just buy Hulu so I don't have to pay for both of you?
Right. Just merge or some shit.
Yeah, like the two of these smaller ones, like Peacock and Paramount, can you just merge?
Right. God. But you know the prices would fucking go up though.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm getting a Halo TV show from one of them, and I get the whole WWE network on the other one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, like it's kind of boomer-esque talk from a group of millennials is kind of weird to me. But yeah, like I that's why Game Pass is so great. I don't have to pay for fucking game, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like this is a point where I dive into your guys' mind here. Like, Thurman and I being like the MassiveVerse fans here and having Radiant Black and Radiant Red come out this week. And then you being like this really big kaiju fan.
Hell yeah.
So
Getting fucking Power Rangers versus Godzilla this month.
Oh God, I forgot about that. I gotta make sure my subscription still exists from the merge. So I had to resubscribe to Supermassive, and I had to resubscribe to Radiant Red.
Oh damn.
So I figure all of the subscriptions are fucked up for that. But they kept my Cyberpunk comic one. They kept that one. Which I forgot was a thing. And I forgot that Berserker, the Keanu Reeves comic, was a thing. So yeah, I gotta finish reading that. But like, you and me were planning on doing a kaiju ranking tier list. And Thurman, I want to put your brain to work here for a second. Radiant Black versus Godzilla. Who would win?
Godzilla.
I actually don't know Radiant Black enough, so I'd have to.
Godzilla. Radiant Black does not have enough feet at all. Like, holy shit.
I mean, with that giant fuck off robot, it might be as interesting of a fight though, and that was the reason I was bringing it up. It might be as interesting of a fight as, like, say, the Dragon Zord fighting Godzilla, because we don't really know how strong that robot is inside that universe. So that's why I'm bringing that up, because, like Andrew said, like, that comic that I completely forgot about was coming out. I knew it was coming out, just couldn't remember when. But
the 24th, I want to say.
24th, okay. Going to Amazon and making sure that subscription's still active after this podcast is done recording. But like, we have such untapped potential in the Massive universe. And I retweeted yesterday, inside the Image #1, they have another little tie-in for that coming out. And it sounds interesting. I'm going to try and pull up the tweet here really quick, because I'm really happy at how quickly this universe is growing. But as a comic fan, growing too quickly is also a little bit
Problematic.
yeah. And now they have basically 5 comics coming out in such a short span of time. Like, obviously Radiant Black itself is pretty, it's going on year 2 right now. But this with, no, I'm not disabling ad blocker, shut up, especially for CBR.
Right.
CBR is like an ad every 3 inches on the screen. Here is the new one. You have Radiant Red, you have the Dead Lucky coming out, you have Rogue Sun, and then obviously the Supermassive spinoff. And then you add in Inferno Girl Red, which was a Kickstarter back comic. Yeah, you got 5 comics going on at the same time,
Yeesh.
which all within the same universe. It kind of is giving me like a bit of that early, like, Young Justice feel, where they tried to do all the media tie-ins for that. Radiant Red is only 5 issues, telling the story of like how she got her powers and what led her down the path that she was in. So that's a limited series, so that's not as big of an issue. Supermassive was a one-shot that kind of did all the things to introduce all these new characters into the world. But the Dead Lucky is kind of like a zombie-looking creature that was introduced in that. Hey, Red, you finally joined. And then
How?
Oh, jeez.
There's no
Hi.
signal around here. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
yeah.
Yo, what's up? So I really like
Andrew's
how,
in here?
Oh yeah, we were talking fighting games and comics.
I
Oh,
was,
are you guys doing your kaiju thing?
No, not yet. I was going to bring that up here in a minute here.
Yeah, so hold on, give me 1 second. So like I was I really like how
Well, anyway, I'll be back once. I was just letting you guys know. I was gonna make a joke, but now that Andrew's here, I don't know if I can make the joke. I was just gonna tell them that we just fucked, and that's why I'm late.
because you was fucking, you gotta have to wait for One Piece, buddy. It is 4 or 7. I'm trying to relax before work.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
You chose sex over One Piece. Now you have to face the consequences.
he took the One Piece over the One Piece.
True. Are you telling me you wouldn't, Thurman?
I don't know. I would fuck while reading One Piece. Big brain.
I don't know. It's a lot of multitasking.
Throw that scan up on the screen while you're going doggy.
I mean, my head does go above Allie's, so like I could just be looking up like bacon towards the wall.
I love that this is the conversation we transitioned out of fucking comics with.
Yeah.
Imagine,
You know what? Talk about One Piece
Red.
really quickly.
Could you imagine Red talking? Could you imagine Red talking like this 3 years ago? I couldn't imagine.
No.
Because I wasn't getting laid 3 years ago.
You were one bad pipeline away from becoming a white nationalist.
What are you talking about?
I'm making fun. Okay, so for context, there's a anti-talk creator that's getting roasted to fuck, Akazura, because somebody found his old like extremist profile, and they're like, you can't grow past that, as if people don't change from year to year to year to year.
Right.
But the fact that he's kept it active after they found it is why he's getting roasted to hell and back.
I see. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get ready to head out, and then if you guys are still doing this while I'm driving, I'll call you back.
Alrighty.
Yeah, probably not. But because I do want to relax for work because
we are hitting an hour 15 on this podcast.
Okay.
But I do want to, while you're here, Red, I do want to bring up the fact that we still need to film the Dr. Stone video, and we're going to do that tomorrow if possible. Is that good for you?
Yeah, so we can film because I'm watching Batman tomorrow around 3.
Okay. So after that.
A friend who I may or may not try to shoot my shot with.
So tomorrow it's gonna be Thurman not being able to film.
So I doubt it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get rejected. But anyway, because I know Batman's like 2 hours. Because the show time's at 3.
It's literally like 3 hours.
I guess.
No, it's 3 hours.
Well, regardless, after I'm out of Batman, if you guys are down, because I'm off Wednesday, we can film Wednesday or Thursday.
Either one's fine for me. I'll just, as long as we're filming before my parents go to sleep at 8. So if we can, you're seeing it at 3, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I can
film like 6 or 7 or 7:30, whatever.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
As soon as I get home, I'll hop on Skype.
Can we do One Piece then?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We're doing Dr. Stone and One Piece.
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, we're actually gonna make them separate videos then.
Yep.
Yeah. We're gonna do catch up, bitch.
Have you?
Dr. Stone? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Catch up with that tonight, and then.
Yes, sir.
Well, otherwise we're gonna be spoiling it. Like.
I know.
And then like around 6.
Care of that.
Around 6 o'clock tomorrow we'll film that. Yeah. This image idea here.
Have fun, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, have fun, bro. Use the condom.
I think that's long past. This image idea here has a lot of those like nods to past things. Like the cover of this comic is Radiant Black reading Youngblood, which was the first comic that was published for Image. So
really, yeah, that's dope.
So to me, like Thurman, I know you were like the bigger one into Radiant Black. Me pushing it on you, me not keeping caught up with it. So I'll let you kind of take the floor here for a bit.
So when it comes to Radiant Black, I have to check out my subscriptions too. But when it comes to Radiant Black, right? One of the things that I'm loving the huge universe that Kyle Higgins is trying to create for it, because it really is a great publisher, man. They really have a lot of great stories. I'm really hyped about Radiant Sun getting, I'm not Radiant Sun,
Rogue Sun,
Radiant Red getting her own spinoff, because I really do like, I do like her character. She's a very complex character. Don't like how she did my boy, the original Radiant Black, how she did, I think his name is Chris or whatever. Don't like how she did him, almost killed my boy, spoilers. But okay, he's back. He's gonna be Radiant Green. We're all ready for it. Let's go.
Realistically, that was a nice twist. That was a nice fucking twist, man.
I'm coping, man. I'm coping.
Like, how often do you see the main character of a comic get so brutally fucked up so quickly?
And then get switched, right? Like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm sorry. Like, I love the original. I love the. Sorry, my best friend texted me. It's crazy because I love the fact that like they switched because I've gotten used to what's this? I wish I'm so bad at remembering characters' names, man. I'm so.
Oh yeah.
The second character, I've gotten used to him because at first I didn't really fuck with him. I really didn't like that he got the Radiant. Now he's the new Radiant Black. Like, he low key made me salty because I liked the original main character because he was so relatable. But like now I've grown to like him. But I'm really hoping they bring him back for Radiant.
Any Radiant, basically. Like
yeah. So Radiant Green, bro, my favorite color, Radiant Green. Let's go because it looks like he's the cliffhanger at the end there was he's basically getting stuck. Like he's basically getting talked to by the black hole, whoever the alien in the black hole is, and I'm happy that we're focusing on the other Radiants because Radiant Red because she's cool too. Like I love one of the coolest things about the Radiant Black series is the powers. Like, you know, he controls gravity. Radiant Black controls gravity. You know, I believe Radiant Pink is like teleportation. I think Yellow.
She's fucking Nightcrawler.
Yellow does.
She's literally Nightcrawler, and like Red having the ability to like absorb mass and, you know, bulk up. Like,
I really love,
which is perfect for her backstory being a bank robber. You know, but like that's you're right. Like the power system of all these characters, while you're dropping signal there, like it works really well for everything. And then dragging in like all these other characters from these crossovers like Rogue Sun and
I'm so hyped for Rogue, bro. Like that first issue, man. Wow, I fucking loved it, bro.
You and I were like arguing back and forth in the chat. Like, is this like past the original? Is this past Supermassive?
Bro, listen, right? Listen.
It's weird, right? Like, how much time passed between those two? I guess we'll find out in the second issue, really. Like, how much time passed between, like, the Supermassive one-shot and that original comic? Because, like, two different characters were holding the mantle. You know, you had all these different things going on, and they're like, this is a different name, this is a different character, you're having the death of the dad, you're having all this shit. And you're realizing, like, every character that's kind of held that mantle seems to become some sort of a douche because of the power. You know,
yeah.
It becomes self-absorbed almost, it would seem like, and distant from everybody around them because they have this, like, desire to do better and create better and be better than the last one to hold the mantle. It's an interesting concept, you know. The ones who always be better but always falling down that rabbit hole of being absorbed by power because you have it, which is something that would very much happen to somebody that has the ability to do all this wacky shit. You know, I know I would be a fucking villain if I had superpowers. Like, no cap, I would be a fucking villain. I could not control myself. I would be more anti-hero. I would want to do good, but I would always be like, for every little bit of good, I could go rob a bank, right? I mean, a couple $100,000 from Chase ain't gonna hurt them. Pay off my student loans, you know, buy a nice little house, all under the table. Ain't nobody gonna mind. But like, when you think about, like, that's the perfect mindset, especially for somebody that's thrust into a role of a superhero at such a young age. It's like My Hero done a little bit better, you know.
And I know you were talking about how me and you were talking about like who is he. So I know for a fact that the Rogue Sun in Supermassive is not the same Rogue Sun.
I think it was the father. I think it was the father that was in Supermassive.
So Marcus was the father. So the one who met. So time has jumped. Supermassive is basically when they were like, because we see, oh, stop it. We see him call him Marcus, and we see in the flashback Marcus is dead. So,
right. So
definitely.
if Marcus is dead, how much time is missing between all of this? Because
I really wish there was like a timeline thing when it comes to Supermassive, so we know like where each one stands.
Because
right now,
all of them are the same fucking age they were in Supermassive. So was Marcus not affected by time?
So I think what it was it was because Marcus was already a superhero, judging by what was going on, and then what's his name got the Radiant like maybe like a few years after, and then Inferno Go Red is actually from another universe.
Yeah, like that. That was the outlier here. Like, we don't know how time affects her. That doesn't matter yet. Her comic isn't out yet. She was just introduced, so it could be a whole new Inferno Girl Red by the time we get to that. But like, that's what got me thinking, because we have the same cast for the main ongoings right now, other than Rogue Sun, but they're all the same fucking age, right? So Radiant Black and all the other Radiants are the same age. You have the new Rogue Sun being the same age as Radiant Black, and also looking basically the same age as the original Rogue Sun, just a little more clean shaven is all. That's what kind of threw me for a loop. I thought maybe this was like what led up to Supermassive originally, and then you and I started digging back through the issues. Like, okay, so this isn't what's going on. This is another character. So hopefully in issue 2, which is coming,
which I'm happy about, honestly, because like the fact that we start off with Marcus is dead, I'm really happy that we get introduced to Supermassive this way, because when it comes to that, we see Marcus and we see because the way Marcus put it, like he had a shitty dad, and clearly he didn't raise the bar because he left his first son. Glock, stop trying to bite me. He left his first son. And wife to go marry someone else, right? But it's weird because he gave his son.
That's the thing.
The sunstone. So clearly he has faith in him somewhat, you know what I mean? So I'm really interested to see, and we already saw that, what's his name? Fucking sucks at being a hero. But I mean, like, I like that shit. Like, his son's learning how to be a hero and all that extra shit like that.
Yeah,
it's a great story. Because now we see, Glock, stop.
See, that's the thing, right? Like, he has that faith, so there still was some good left in him. I want to know, like, does the Sunstone really affect the holder of it? Does it really, inhibit some sort of, like, desire to be kind of a douche? Does it make you distant? What's the power here for that? And the reason I brought all this up, kind of trying to wrap up the MassiveVerse talk here.
Because it's almost 4:30.
Yeah, and I know you want to relax a bit, so slowly wrap up this podcast a bit, so I can start processing it as well. The big thing for me is, like, this is how you introduce a universe, but it's also a very dangerous way to introduce a universe to me, because you can grow too big too quickly. And you've seen this a lot with, especially DC and fucking Marvel, wanting to reboot every few years because they tried too many things at the same time. So, luckily, with the MassiveVerse here, you're kind of self-contained to a Toku-style universe, like akin to Power Rangers, with like giant kaiju monsters and stuff like that. Yeah. So it already has that inherent fan base, and it also has 2 writers heading it, and Kyle Higgins and Ryan Parrott, who have that established fan base from their time writing the Power Rangers comics too. And Kyle Higgins already had a little history with the Ultraman comics for Marvel, so he also had fans from that. So they know what to expect from their universe. So it's a little bit more safe But at the same time, like, I do have that little bit of concern in the back of my head, like, how big are you trying to make this, and how quickly are you trying to make this? Because if we're going to spin off every character into their own comic with different writers and different teams, then
that's gonna start getting, and that's the one thing I like about Image is that they don't do that. They don't do it like even IDW does this with TMNT.
Here's a Jenica comic. Here's a Shredder comic.
You have the mutant animals. You have like Marvel, like different like side stories. Like I believe Apolex was introduced in the Raphael side story, and you had to read that to understand who the fuck Apolex was. I could be wrong, but from what I remember, there's certain characters who were introduced in the side stories of TMNT for the IDW run that you had to understand. And then there was like TMNT Universe, and then they made the TMNT Ghostbuster crossover canon because they mentioned that. Like it's very, very like that's the one thing about comics that like I really don't like is like stuff like that. Like that. You had to read like you had to read like a side story. To
understand all, it's the same thing right now, and this is me having my daily shit on My Hero. It's the same thing right now with My Hero because a lot of the vigilante stuff seems to be tying into the end game here as well. You know, and not a lot of the core fans, especially the anime onlys, are coming over to kind of experience the manga as it's ending because, you know, they don't want to be spoiled for it. They're like, what the fuck is this character and this character and this character? And then they're having to dive into like the side stories, and then you have the team up comics and all the shit that they're tying in as well. And it's just weird that you're even seeing that now in manga. I'm not the biggest fan of that cross pollination sort of medias here, because like the good thing about manga to me is it was always one fucking story. And if you wanted to experience a sequel to it, you could go read the fucking sequel. You didn't have to read this side story and that side story and this side. And Bleach is fucking notorious for this, with all this like fucking novels and everything else to learn about the bankais for the characters that never got everything. I'm glad that the anime is going to be adapting that stuff. So, you know, fans that are hyped to see it come back won't have to read all that other shit and worry about like, is this fan translation accurate for this one that hasn't been released here yet? And yeah. Anyway, so like that's my main concern with that. And then the big thing is, Andrew, for you, me, and I think Red, the Kaiju tier list will be next episode. So in 2 weeks, the April Fool's Day week 1, we'll be doing that. And that fits just perfectly well with like something as bizarre as a tier list, because it's going to get absurd, it's going to get wacky, and it's going to be really... I know Rad was joking about like a smash or pass segment of every fucking kaiju there. Like, would you smash or pass Mothra? Like, I'm just over here like, okay, we'll do that. And he wanted to do one for like all the Pokemon as well, and that because Markiplier and them did it, and that would be fun. Yeah. Obviously, Vaporeon's the most breedable scientifically.
Research purposes, yeah.
Yeah, but great podcast.
Yeah, this was an interesting one, and I'm glad we were able to get Andrew in for that latter part, because it brought up a lot of good conversation for fighting games, and definitely like game nights. Like after we get the Twitch back up and rolling, everybody is free to come completely destroy all of us online, and if you notice, like all my social media has been kind of rebranded, and that's because I'm going to be changing my name in the next couple months.
Oh, dope!
Because I'm tired of being named after my abusive grandpa, so I'm going through that.
Yes, it is.
Let's
go.
So like, I've been.
Bear with us for rendering that. It's gonna take a while. So.
Oh yeah, I know it's gonna be confusing to viewers and to even friends. So yeah, that's the other thing. Like I'm no longer going to be David or Dante Lee on social media. Obviously, Facebook, because I've been banned so many times, has my old ID. So So like my identity's been verified, so that means my Instagram is tied to that. So I got to go through a whole fucking process of sending them a picture of my updated ID when I do all that. So that's super fun. I know I've listened to enough Rooster Teeth to know that, like, even after changing your name, you're still going to have a little bit of hassle with, like, credit cards and shit like that, because Jeff changed his fucking name from Fink to Ramsey, and he would still, like, 10, 15 years later get, like, were you this person when applying for a job? And yeah, it's a whole process, but luckily it's not overly complicated where we live. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's why all my social media has been changed. So yeah, I guess wrapping it up. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you, for Dr. Stone in a couple days, and for the podcast in a couple weeks. Peace.
Hell yeah. Peace.